Most of us are against drugs that cause all kinds of problems, deaths, addictions, and destroys lives when abused. Most of us also are thankful for the police when an emergency or life-threatening situation happens. However, the shocking reality is that too many in the police department around the U.S. and in certain high government positions and very high-up officials in governments of Mexico, the U.S., and other nations have profited greatly off the manufacturing and distribution and sales of illegal drugs. Add to that the temptations of the, quote, legal, end of quote, robbings that are going on with police seizures of cash and property after busting people they have sold drugs to, or people who are alleged to have drugs or particles of detectable drugs on them sniffed out by some police dope dogs. Thus, the so-called drug war is one of the biggest government scams. Then add to that how the courts and lawyers cash in on lawyer fees if the person can't even somehow come up with the cash to defend themselves against these, in some cases, false charges. And then there is expensive court fine and loss of freedom through imprisonment. Thus, the so-called drug war is one of the biggest government scams and crises used to take away our freedoms, private properties, and enslave the masses into paying court fees, lawyer fees, as many non-guilty people have to demonstrate that they're not criminals. Ironically, too, is how many of those in power are alleged to be guilty themselves of drug running. But while the common person is smashed down, their lives ruined, their entire life savings seized, and their private properties robbed or abolished in this manner, and are taken from them, those in power aren't put under the microscope of the faulty present-day legal system, where making money seems to be the addiction of many of the courts, judges, and lawyers. Yes, many in very high positions in government use those positions to rob like the mob. While the U.S. government publicly appears to be fighting the war on drugs, it is actually the principal supplier to the millions of drug users in America. While it sends recreational drug users and small-time dealers to prison, it is making billions of dollars from their covert CIA drug smuggling operations. Horrific cases in point. The police department in Sulphur, Louisiana, fought the drug menace by seizing about 5 million between 1990 and the end of 1994. Speeders on Interstate 10 are pulled over, and those with a lot of cash are identified. Their cash is seized. If narco dogs smell drugs, successful seizures is likely, since virtually all our currency has traces amounts of cocaine. The Sulphur police and DA do not seem to care about the actual guilt or innocence of the cash-carrying speeders, as criminal charges are rarely pressed. The Sulphur police confiscating policy, after learning how much money other agencies were making, like that of the sheriff in Vulsucia County, Florida, also started using the seizure law to rob like the mob. For what was seized from motorists on Interstate 95 during a 41-month period from 1989 through 1992 is frightening. How many were drug traffickers? Who can say? For few charges were filed, thus no public record can be verified. Many motorists that had their cash robbed by the police mob didn't get their money back even when the seizures was challenged, even when no proof or wrongdoing or criminal record could be found and the victims provided evidence that their money was legitimately earned. Instead, the sheriff forfeiture attorney handling the settlements negotiations, only 4 people got their money back. One went to trial but lost and has appealed, facing high civil litigation costs. The rest settled for 50 to 90% of their money after promising not to sue the sheriff department. Of course, they also had to pay a third or more of the return money to their attorneys. Their crime? They fit a drug profile, and they made the mistake of driving through Vulsucia County with cash in their pockets. Is the sacrifice of the innocent and their civil liberties worth the effort in war on drugs? personal properties and business assets may have been seized and ordered sold at public auctions by state and federal agencies for tax reasons and or for various illegal activities. But what if there are too many seizures that are done to people who haven't been officially arrested or legally proved to be involved in illegal drugs? The Supreme Court seems to think that anything is permissible in the name of fighting crime. On June 24, 1996, United States versus Usury, the court ruled that the civil punishment in addition to criminal punishments do not constitute double jeopardy. Asset forfeitures came to prominence in the war against drugs. They have not dented drug use, but they have made thieves out of law enforcement officers. Garrett Wallenstein warns how the Drug Enforcement Administration, or DEA, is seizing the luggage, cash, and cars of hapless travelers. Under America's new civil forfeiture laws, mere possession of a large amount of cash or a drug dog barking at your luggage is sufficient probable cause for police to legally seize everything you are carrying. Garrett lists numerous cases in point. Number 1, 2000, New Mexico. DEA agent stops Sam Thatch on Amtrak, robbing $147,000 in cash. He had no drugs. His crime? He paid cash for the ticket. Didn't give Amtrak his phone number. Case number 2, 6/5/2001. They rob $640,000 from Jennifer Leigh Ames. DEA agents claim she looked nervous and refused permission to search her luggage. 6/22/1999. Even former Newark, New Jersey cop Carlos Hernandez suffered this form of abuse when he found officers looking through his Amtrak sleeper cabin, demanding to see into his luggage. His crime? He's Hispanic and paid $694 in cash for the ticket. Number 4. Houston Hobby Airport. Cops detain Ethel Hilton, 49. Seized her luggage, all because a dope-sniffing drug dog scratched it. Agents searched her bags, strip-searched her, but they found no drug. However, they did find $39,110 in cash from an insurance settlement and her life savings, earned over 20 years of hard work as a hotel housekeeper and hospital janitor. She completely documents where and how her legal efforts through years of hard work had gotten her the money in question, but the police kept her money anyway. Destitute, she had no way to fight them. Garrett goes on with this shocking aspect of this legal robbing going on by police, court, and government agencies. These outrageous seizures are completely legal and have been upheld by the highest court in the land. DEA website claims property is seized by the DEA only when it is determined to be a tool for or the proceeds of illegal activities such as drug trafficking, organized crime, or money laundering. But the above example cases shows the reality.
Problems you'll have from snort and blow. Let's be around and busy die. Lost, you didn't know your flaws. Of course, that's because you suck. You're feeling too far. I'm drinking alcohol. Being on the other side of the cell wall.
Under civil asset forfeiture, your property, not you, is charged with a crime. Hence the bizarre title of civil forfeiture cases. United States versus one 1998 Mercedes-Benz. California versus 1711 Main Street, and so forth. Once your property is charged with a crime, it can be seized and kept by police, even if you are never convicted of anything. An appeals court in Florida even ruled that police can personally seize and receive bounties of 25% of the value of anything they seize from you, such as your car, bank accounts, or home. Often, properties and cash is taken by police who charge people with breaking the many laws that the common person knows very little or anything about. If your car is impounded, it costs them a lot of money to get back, if they even can. The present system makes it near a mission impossible to get back your property.